Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Mariam Chaudhry and I'm delighted to welcome all of you on today's podcast session. Today we have Dr. Nayyab Zehra with us. Nayyab is the CEO of Handmade Joy and she's a visionary doctor and entrepreneur dedicated to crafting natural soaps and candles while advocating sustainability and inclusivity. She is passionate about empowering women and youth and provides hands-on training to foster financial independence and skill development. Nayyab is a distinguished graduate of the US Embassy's Academy for Women Entrepreneurs. She actively supports women-led startups and entrepreneurship in Pakistan, driving meaningful change in the community. Nayyab, walk us through your fondest memory from your school life.
It will be the out-of-city tour we had from Quetta to Karachi campus, which was for a debating competition. And as an O-level student, it was a very new experience to go by air.
Okay.
And I had to convince my parents. And then we got to stay there for 2 days at the Kasuri house, if I'm not mistaken.
That's nice.
And it was a very interesting experience for us. Although we did not win the debating competition, but overall the flying to the different city and then coming back was a wholesome experience for me.
Did you make any friends for life? Are you still in touch with people from your school life?
There are like few of my friends which I would like to name. There was Khashia from Gujranwala campus. There was another Nayyab from Gujranwala campus. And then from Beaconhouse, Quetta, I had Aisha Anbar, Zarguna. And a friend till this day I'm connected to is Maheen.
That's nice.
We started off from Rawalpindi and then her father also got posted to Quetta and she also moved to Quetta from Rawalpindi. So I still
you guys
have.
graduated together then?
Yeah, we did. And we are still connected now.
That's nice.
Yeah.
What's the strangest place you ever napped on in campus?
I think it will be the art classroom because I was not interested in arts at all. And there was one time I was sleeping and then my friends, they used all the paint bottles and they just pasted their hands at the back of my uniform. And those stains never went out.
If you could relive one moment from your campus life, what would that be?
I think it will be one of the school skit we had on, I think, National Independence Day on 14 August. It was very interesting. I think I would like to relive that.
Could you tell us something about this kit?
I was wearing a guard uniform and we had to source it out from the boys. And that was the funniest part because we had to make our mustaches and be guard and we were laughing all the time because guard is supposed to be like very serious.
Okay.
Although we were like the other way around and we were laughing our heads off.
That's nice.
Yeah.
If your campus life was a movie, what would the title be?
I think it would be like the student of the year. Like we had all categories of the student in our class. The one who was the fashionista and the studious one. And we had like our personal inside jokes of the teachers. So I think that was the movie.
So what category would you fall in? The studious or the fashionista?
I will be nerd and the social butterfly.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
I used to go around the class and talk to everyone and then go to other classes as well. I used to travel in the bus. So I was well connected with people from my senior classes and my junior classes.
Who was your favorite teacher?
It has to be Miss Sadaf Atif from Palm Tree campus, Gujranwala. She was my English teacher and my class teacher as well. And she was the one who was like a great motivator and she was amazing teacher.
Could you walk us through your journey of student life in Beaconhouse?
My journey started in 8th class when I just got admitted into Tipu Sultan campus in Rawalpindi. Then moving from the north region, I moved to the center, being an army brat. I got admitted into Gujranwala Palm Tree campus. And then after like few months, I think I shifted towards Southern campus, Juniper campus, Quetta. From there, I graduated as the O-level student.
So how was your experience in all three regions?
It was very diverse, I would say. A difference in culture and a difference in the competencies of the teachers as well. But one thing I would like to highlight is that each one of the region was very welcoming and inclusive, as well as the teachers were really amazing, and they actually really motivated each student to achieve big things in their life.
That's awesome. So, if your library had a secret floor, what would you find in that floor?
It has to be the secret dungeons from the Harry Potter, where we can do all the magic and mix the different potions and play with dragons and things like that.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So, if your batch had a theme song, what would that be?
Ye Jawani Phir Nahi Aani.
Okay.
We used to have a lot of fun. Like, to be honest, it was the best years across all the campuses for me. And especially when we were in the final year of our O levels in Quetta campus, it was like phenomenal, I would say, including the teachers and the classmates. We had a lot of fun.
So, what do you miss most from that campus?
There was a specific aura to it and cultural diversity to it, as we were all interlinked. I am coming from a different background, and they're a very different culture at the Quetta campus, considering it to be the part of Balochistan. So that was the most part which made me enlightened about that culture as well, and made me culture sensitive to it. So I would say that's the best part for me.
So, let's suppose if you were appointed school head for one day for that particular campus, what would you change?
Maybe I will make it more inclusive for the people with the minor disabilities to be included in the classroom and having the same access to all the resources within the Beaconhouse school system.
That's really nice. So, what's the most creative excuse you've ever used for a late submission? Have you ever had a late submission?
Never. I was like the topmost of the class, and we always have a competition between us who is going to submit it first. So I don't think so I ever had a late submission.
So, if your campus was a person, what zodiac sign would that be?
If I talk specifically about my graduating campus, that will be the Juniper campus, Quetta. I think it will be the zodiac sign of Taurus, considering that due to the resilience they have and the persistent to fight back regardless of the situations they face, is like the main zodiac sign that comes to my mind.
Are you a Taurian by any chance?
No.
Okay, I am. So I'll take that as a compliment. So what's one thing that you learned at your campus besides studies?
It will be more pointed towards the diversity and inclusion at the campus, I felt.
More like acceptance of everyone?
Yeah.
Describe your time at your school in one word, and you can talk about all three campuses.
It can be life-changing because I have traveled across all the campuses from north to center to south. So I would say I'm being lucky enough to experience the diversity within this Beaconhouse school system.
So what's the most memorable class that you've ever had?
I think I had a very dynamic English teacher. She used to include interactive props and charts and group work in the class. Her name was Miss Aisha, and she was a dedicated teacher during our O-levels time. So we actually used to look forward to her English class.
And that's nice. So she had like an out-of-the-box approach to teaching.
She did.
So who was your go-to study buddy?
I used to love studying solo rather than studying in group. But once I am done, I used to like propagate my information to all the buddies in the class. So it's like more of a solo show.
Okay. So were you a competitive student?
Definitely at that time, 100%.
Would you tell your own kids to be competitive?
Actually, no. Things have changed a lot, and that takes a lot of toll on your mental health and your physical health.
So what is one aspect of school life that you miss now?
The carefree environment. We used to like having no worries, and just we have to wake up at time, go to school, come back and do your homework and done for the day. That was the best part.
So were you part of any extracurricular clubs or activities that you remember?
Yes. I was part of dramatics, debating, sports. We just ask any extra thing to do and I will be there standing in front of the line.
How important do you think extracurricular activities are for students nowadays?
It's very essential. They need to develop the skill of leadership teamwork, being resilient, being able to collaborate with each other. It's very essential.
How many siblings do you have?
I have 4.
Did they all go to Beaconhouse as well?
2 of them did in their primary sections, and I still remember going to their parent-teacher meeting.
So how was that experience for you?
It was fine because we were the senior most class, and me being socially very active, the teachers already knew.
So Nayyab, do you remember the class section you were in?
I think it was section C, orange, and that happened to be across all the regions from north to center to south region, and that left a memorable mark in my memory.
Do you remember any canteen snack which you still crave?
Actually, I used to be the lunchbox dabba wala student. So once in a while, we used to go to canteen and have that samosa chaat and things like that. But most of the time, it was my lunchbox.
So what is one thing that you love about the field in which you are currently?
I think being a doctor and then getting the opportunity to teach the future generation, I'm very much happy to create a legacy for them and transmit my information and skills to the future generation who can create a mark in this within the country and across the globe as well.
So if you had a time machine and you could travel back in time, so what would you do differently?
Maybe I will try to be a little more kinder, more inclusive, more self-aware, so that I could know what the implications of my action would be on others.
That's a beautiful answer. So what's one piece of advice that you'd like to give to the current students?
I would like to say that be persistent, more resilient, and try to make something innovative and create a mark for Pakistan across the globe, as there is a huge space gap in the field of entrepreneurship and technology, and our students are very much talented to fill that gap successfully.
So Nayyab, how would you like to add value to the life of students at Beaconhouse?
As a part of a healthcare professional and as well as a working entrepreneur, I would like to give back to Beaconhouse school system in the form of mentorship to the upcoming students in order to identify the gaps where they can fill the space.
It was an absolute pleasure to have you here with us, and we look forward to connecting with you in future. And thank you so much for coming over today.
Thank you so much, Mariam and boss, for inviting me today.
Beaconhouse Old Student Society, BOSS, building a community together.